recording? Yes, we are. Hello. Welcome to my channel. Hi, hello. How are you? My name is Sienna. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, how are you going? Today oh God. Sorry, I just shook you so bad. I'm gonna try to be still. I'm recording on my new camera, but I've kind of got it very carefully propped up on like a slope, so you might fall. If not, you might kind of feel like you're on a roller coaster. So I'm just gonna not move for a little bit, and I'm also trying to work out where to look. Obviously, oh, I've shook you again. I think, okay. Should I hold you maybe? Maybe if I hold you, that's better. Yeah, I'll just hold you. Even though my arm strength is like atrocious. That's a good medium. Okay, this is the first time I'm using my new camera, so just bear with me while I figure out the best way to kind of use it. But today I thought we can go on a little library date together. I've come to one of my local libraries. They have redone a new one, and it's like 30-40 minutes away from me, and I honestly don't have much fuel and I didn't want to fill up, so I was like, I'm just gonna go to the one near me, even though it's not that big. But I have some things to do. I want to study because I am like the biggest procrastinator known to man. I just, like, for the life of me can't sit down and have to like focus and study on something, and it's really difficult. So I've forced myself to come to the library so that I am studying, and I'm studying Hangul. I'm trying to revive my study of Korean. I started like years and years ago, didn't get very far, and then like completely gave up, and that's pretty much the story of my life when it comes to anything study related. But as I want to move to Korea next year, I need to kind of get my ass into gear and actually start studying. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I obviously want to check out what new queer books are going on at the library, because this library actually really surprises me with the amount of queer books that they have going on, which I think personally is pretty incredible given that they're all free and easy access for people. And it makes me really happy to kind of see and know that queer books are so accessible. So I want to see what books I've got. And then I did also obviously bring my Kindle with me, and I'm going to do a little bit of reading. I'm kind of in between a few books at the moment. One of them is Strange Girls, and this is a sapphic, I don't know if it's going to be a full romance, but it's very much like similar to Sunburn energy, but it's about two friends who are incredibly close, borderline on we're lovers, even though I don't know if it quite gets there. I'm not sure. I'm like 35% of the way through, and it kind of goes back and forth between present day, where they're coming together for one of their friends' weddings, and there's something that's happened. They've not seen each other in quite a long time, and then when they were at uni at Oxford, I believe is where they were, and kind of seeing how close they got then. So I'm reading that. And then I'm also reading In Your Court, which is a tennis romance. And it's funny because I am outside a tennis court right now, which I have literally never had an interest or anything to do with tennis in my life. And these past like 3 weeks, I've read so many. I've read 3, still a lot, tennis romance books. And I'm like, wow, where's this resurgence and love for tennis come from? I think I'm going to get into it. I think I've decided hockey and tennis are the sports I'm getting into. Essentially, if they're romance books, I'm into the sport. So I'm also reading that. And then I do want to see if they have Heap Earth Upon It by Chloe Michelle Howarth, because I would love to read that in a physical form. And other than that, that's what's on the agenda. I thought I'd bring you guys along with me. We can have a little bit of a date, of reading, of studying. If you guys are needing to study for anything, this is your motivation to do so. I'll probably last a total of like 30 minutes. That's being generous, but you know, we're going to just start, because it's the starting that's really hard and that I know I need to do, but I make it so much bigger than it actually is in my head. So this is your note to just start something, whatever it is. If it's like an art and craft, if it's a book, if it's studying, just do it. Just start it, and then it's less scary than it actually is. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Oh, I also brought my journal to do a little bit of journaling. So many options that we have. I would like to do all three of those things. If there's a nice little seat I can find, I've got my noise cancelling headphones, I've got my loops, I'm ready to go. First stop will be the bathroom because I have the bladder of either someone pregnant or who's like 90. I am awful with having to like hold my pee in. So I'm going to the bathroom, and then we're going to find a little area to get set up. Do some study first, I think, and then reward myself with some reading. So let's go. Bye. This is my outfit. Library outfit acquired. I always make the mistake of not wearing a t-shirt underneath a jumper, and then I'm boiling and hate my life. So I've got a t-shirt on this time. First up, the public bathrooms. Getting warm. It was like freezing this morning and now it is toasty. I've just come back to my car because it was starting to get quite busy in there and the security guard for some reason kept doing like laps of me and I was like, sir, I'm just trying to read. And then there was like a rhyme class going on for babies, so I was like, it's time for me to make my exit. It's like 11 o'clock, like 10:50 or something. But yeah, that I didn't get to film as many of the books that I wanted to film that I know that they have there, but it was just so busy and I felt really brave just filming myself, you know, like doing all the things. But my social anxiety did get the best of me in terms of going. There's like this group of guys and they were near the books that I wanted to film, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. So there was a lot of like good new releases. They had like 30 Love there. They had a bunch. Like honestly, every time I go to my library, I'm always, especially I think recently, like over the past few years, their queer books have increased massively. Do I look like an idiot with my glasses on? Anyway, their queer books have increased massively, and I think this is just a friendly reminder to you guys to check out your local libraries, see what queer books they've got going on, because if it's like mine, they've got some really good options. And I love that that's accessible, it's free, and people can just be able to read queer books, and they know they're queer because they've got the little pride flag on them. So yeah, it just like warms my heart a little bit when I see so many good queer reads and options available. They didn't have Heap Earth Upon It available, someone was borrowing it, but otherwise I had a really nice time. I love going to the library. I definitely didn't get as much studying done as I should have, but I started it and that feels like a good point. And now I'm a little bit peckish, so I might go home, have a little snack, do some more reading. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for coming along, for being here. Oh, my book. I want to tell you about Strange Girls. I'm like 50% of the way through it now, and we're getting to the part where we kind of learn a bit more around like what happened to them not talking for so many years. And I always just really love books that are about female friendships that are really intense, because when you are gay, especially queer, any capacity where two girls like each other, it can be such an intense experience, and that line between friendship and then loving someone, I feel like can be really blurred, especially in those relationships, and they're so complex. And like the way that Ava and Aaliyah, who are our two main characters, were kind of describing, like Aaliyah saying that we couldn't go on with our lives being so intertwined like that, and for Ava, she doesn't get why it couldn't be that way. And so Aaliyah, she is from Pakistan and she's Muslim, and so for her, I think the kind of like social and religious aspects as well play a big role into how she kind of felt she had to grow out of this almost codependency with Ava. Whereas for Ava, she doesn't really understand why they couldn't continue on this way. And so yeah, it's really interesting and I'm really enjoying it so far. I love the cover of this book as well. But yeah, that is where I'm up to, like 50% of the way through it. I'm going to keep reading, keep seeing what happens. There's a few books that I also want to pick up and read, and I'll probably talk about them in the next video because I'm like boiling and I can't actually form a thought right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go home. Thank you so much for being here, for watching. Please let me know what you're reading down below. If you have a favorite library or queer books at the library that you love, please comment them. I think that's always super helpful for people to know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.